Hello, how are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Tonight's drink is a White Claw.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's my first White Claw in about a year, I think.
Oh, okay. What? Why the year?
I'm not a White Claw person. I don't know. Not,
Yeah,
yeah, I've been a fan. It just tastes like Sprite.
that's nice. I
Yeah.
have a lot of empty cans of San Pellegrino around me.
Around you? Did you have all these
Around
today?
me. Yeah, because like I take them into my room and then they just never leave. They just stay here.
Anyways, how have you been during these drastic times?
It's been up and down. Right now I'm up, but last week I was like way down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've lost all track of time. So I say last week, but I don't even know if this was actually last week or not. But last week, my dad had texted me at like 6 a.m. in the morning, and he was like, "Hey Tina, if you want to come home, just say the word, and I'll drive because I have a couple of days off right now. I'll drive to you, and I'll take you home." And I thought about it long and hard, and I considered all the factors, such as the fact that my parents are elderly, and my roommates at the time were both still working at their jobs, so they're both being exposed to the virus. And since I was also being exposed to them, I thought, maybe it might be a better idea to not go home at this point. So I told him no, and then I cried for 2 days straight.
Oh my gosh.
um,
Where
yeah,
where do your parents live?
they're home in Texas, so
Oh
about 1,000
jeez.
miles away.
Yeah, what's the situation like in Texas? I don't follow other states
Yeah.
apparently.
So,
What's going on there?
the Texas governor Greg Abbott is an absolute idiot.
Okay.
He went around on the internet for a good while because he said that like senior citizens should step up and it's their time to die. Basically, is what he said,
What?
which is really idiotic of him to say.
Yeah.
But there was a while where they tried to close down everything, including like abortion clinics and stuff, which is rough considering that Texas is one of the states that still has a pretty harsh abortion law.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you gonna do about that?
Yeah.
But it's happening.
Yeah.
My mom works at a grocery store, so
Uh-huh.
she's an essential worker,
Yeah.
and my dad's job is kind of like up and down depending because it's almost freelance like, but not really.
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah.
yeah. No, I could. What's so the governor is an idiot. What's the how the case has been? Have they been steadily going up, or have they been mild for now?
I think they're not as like bad as like big cities like Chicago and New York are.
Yeah.
But I think they are definitely climbing up, as is the rest of the United States right now.
Yeah. I want your opinion because I was actually today was like the first day I've actually had some hope because I was watching CNN the first time I watched CNN, and who's the doctor? I keep forgetting his name. The doctor that everyone loves, who's been the guy for all of this. Do you remember his name? Fauci.
Ooh, well, I don't know.
I
I
think
don't.
I think it's Fauci. Anyway, he said that they're starting to see the curve flattened, and that got me really excited. Oh, this is working. Everything's working. And then I had this moment of, oh wait, it's gonna flatten, but then it's gonna come right back, and
Yeah.
that got me. I was talking to a lot of my friends who I work with for the summer, and one of them who I've known for a long time said, "I don't think this job's happening in the summer," and that broke my heart. And I was like, "You think that really?" So
Yeah.
it's been a weird day in terms of feeling of an up and down day. Right now, I'm trying to my curve is being flattened right now as it's being said.
Yeah. I've also noticed that I haven't been paying attention too much to the news because it gives me a lot of stress and anxiety. So I try to stay away from it for as long as I can until it's absolutely necessary. But I've noticed a personal change in my life where things are sort of adapting to this new normal. You know, people are picking things back up. People are like, hey, okay, so this is what's happening now. This is the new plan. This is how we're moving forward with things. It's like the world was on pause, and now we're tentatively pressing play again.
Yeah, and what makes it even weirder is we say when people say when things go back to normal. Well, we don't even know what normal looks like when this is over.
Right.
We're going to be entering a new normal where I don't think this virus is going to go away at all. It's going to stick around. Probably what's going to happen is we're going to have a lot more, we're going to have resources, and we're going to probably, maybe not a vaccine, but ways of settling it down. But yeah, we're not, the old normal's gone. We're not going back to that.
Right. I remember seeing this article. I don't remember if it was New York Times or if it was BuzzFeed. Either way. But it was talking about how New York City would never be the same after this. How people would still, you know, keep their respectable distance, and how young, up-and-coming New Yorkers would be taking over the city, and a lot of things like that.
You say up-and-comers and young, and I turn into an old person. And maybe that's just when I still go to work and I still see high schoolers and maybe freshmen in college, I don't know, who are clearly not siblings, and they're hanging out. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I get really close to being, guys, what are you doing? What are we doing here? My brother, my middle brother, he still rides his bike with his friends. They don't like hang out, like they ride bikes and they play basketball. But I'm like, dude, I'll play basketball. I suck. I'll play basketball. I'll hang out with you. But why can't you get? Am I crazy to think that young people think they're immune to anything at this point?
No, that sounds like an accurate thing. I think there's a book quote about that somewhere. Oh yes, it's from Looking for Alaska by John Green.
Okay.
It's like young people think they are invincible because we are.
Wow.
It's very empowering, you know, when you're like, you know, a teenager stuck in the rut. But during a global pandemic, not a good quote.
Yeah, you might want to put that quote on hold for now. Maybe back with
Put
the
it in
old.
the back pocket.
Yeah, put it in the old normal for now. And hell, we'll bring it with the new normal whenever that is. Well, that one can stay. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just get very grouchy.
Do you think it's perhaps because that, you know, we are older and we've learned things about the world in the way it is?
I think so, and coming from you and I, especially as we were about to graduate, we still are about to graduate from college. We feel we're pretty much adults at this point, where we've seen a lot of things, and I think that's when, and I think we were able to find out. I think that was the benefits of college for us. We were able to identify a specific voice that we have for ourselves. Because I think when we graduated high school, we were fearless. And this is my opinion about just teenagers in general. I don't know. I don't know teenagers. But I think when we graduated high school, we were young, we were fearless, we were excited for college, we were ready to be on our own, and then we actually get to college, and then we panic, and then we morph into a young adult figuring things out of, oh, I hate that old me. I like doing this instead. And I think that's what happened. I think we you and I, like I said, we kind of just matured, and we look back on ourselves and we think, God, what were we thinking? Like I think of myself in high school, senior year, of like, God, what was I doing? Wearing suits every day and being the hall pass monitor.
Oh, you were the hall pass monitor?
Oh my God,
That's so on brand for you.
I was the fucking shit for the hall pass monitor.
So wait, time out. You were hall pass monitor and also prom king. How does that light up?
Well, it's very easy. For us, I only did it for one period, so I did it for an hour a day, and I would. Yeah, I would get like these
Okay.
passes and I would go into classrooms, give them to the teacher, and that's how people would, know me. And then I would make like a big scene for every classroom because I was a overrated and overactor.
Uh,
Yeah, so that's kind of
that makes sense.
yeah. So when I was on the court, I was, that was my campaign trail.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yep. So it was like vote for me, and I go into like the economics classroom or the social sciences classroom. Vote for me. Oh, so what was high school like for you?
It was real rough, buddy.
Really?
It wasn't as terrible, I would say, as like other people. I was fortunate enough to be pretty well liked. I wasn't bullied or anything.
Yeah.
But like I am now, I was just sad. I was a sad kid. And especially during high school was rough because I didn't have that many friends either. So if I was feeling upset about something, which was a lot of the time, I really didn't have anywhere to go to. And I think probably that was the reason why I started journaling in high school because I had nowhere else to go. So I just went inward to myself.
And I know you left Columbia with a theater degree. Did you ever do theater in high school?
Yes, I've done theater since sixth grade. My not world premiere, but my first show was in sixth grade. It was called Just Another High School Musical.
Oh God.
It was like a show within a show. The idea of it was that these kids were trying to put on a show, but oh no, their high school theater teacher's gone missing, so they have to put on the show all by themselves or whatever. And there's like a parody of all the different musicals and shows in one. It was a wild time. But that's what did it for me.
How do you think you've changed though, looking back in high school and college, as you're about to graduate?
Yeah, I think I have a harder time, just with self-care and stuff, especially since I'm not necessarily living by myself, but since I have my own room and stuff, it's like I'm basically by myself here. I think college me is different in that I have people to go to and people to turn to if I am having problems.
Yeah.
My freshman year, I would have game night with a group of friends every Saturday, and that was something new for me and something that I had never had before. So it was really exciting to have a community of people that I could go to. I stopped journaling in college though, which was kind of sad, but that's okay.
Do you think you will ever pick it up again?
I've tried several times over the past year, but it's been really difficult.
Really?
Yeah. High school, I used to journal every single day. Every single day, I wrote at least one sentence. But I guess part of it was that. Okay, are you ready for a long story?
Go. Hey, we have all the time.
Oh, great. All right. So in high school theater, there was this friend that I had, and we would always tease each other or mess with each other. I would take his backpack and hide it somewhere in our theater classroom. Stuff like that. But one day he got back at me, quote unquote, got back at me by taking a quick peek at my journal. And at first I was mad at stuff, but then I'm not sure exactly how this happened, but it morphed into a way of me writing to this person as a way of expressing my feelings and how my day was going, and it was kind of like talking to a friend almost, but it was just me writing and him reading it instead. But I think that was what really propelled a lot of it for me in high school, because that gave me a place for my writing to go, Yeah. And then once I went to college, there was no place for it. It just stayed circling in my head over and over and over again. I would look back at my old journal prompts from college and say, oh, they're saying the exact same thing just, 2 weeks later. So I think that's what happened.
Do you think...
I also miss my friend.
Oh, shout out to the friend. Do you think those, I don't want to say problems, do you think that those feelings have morphed, do you think, and you were able to figure out quicker or easier as an adult than high school?
Um,
And maybe that's why the journaling stopped.
no, I think I still have a hard time processing things.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I am a mess, and I legitimately think that I should probably seek professional help, but I don't.
I have my cardigan and my White Claw ready to go. Don't you? And I'll get some candles and maybe some like really slow 80s rock music, and
Oh,
and then I really turn into an NPR host. So don't you?
oh my, okay.
Yeah. Do you know Scott Olson, right?
I love Scott Olson. Oh
So
my God, Scott Olson, I love him.
yeah, he's a teacher at Columbia, and he was on my podcast, my other podcast, about a month ago before this whole thing happened, and we were talking about him growing up, and someone told him when he was on a college search, and he said the kids who are popular are not popular anymore, and the kids who were not popular are popular now because of college, and that was very interesting because and when and maybe for my sake, like when I started college, I kind of had like a crisis of, oh, everyone there. I wasn't trying to be the popular kid, but everyone knows each other, and everyone
Yeah.
likes each other for different reasons. And maybe that's why, because I started radio, and our radio department at Columbia is very small. It still is. It's probably smaller now. But when we started, it was, God, maybe less than 50 people, like students wise. And then I was like, and then when I switched to theater, that was different. Everything was different once I joined the theater department. And that kind of set the stone of like, well, I don't have to be liked by everyone. I can find my own little group, and I think that was so great about college was everyone. There's not a clique. Well, I could I
Yeah,
don't.
wow.
Yeah, I say that out loud, and I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
you
think.
can
Go ahead.
there's ways to find people that
Ab-
vibe with you.
Absolutely, I absolutely. Speaking of college, graduation.
Oh,
What are you?
I had a feeling you were gonna bring that up.
Well, funny enough, this is hashtag Columbia Week on the podcast, where
Oh, right.
yeah, so we've had since Sunday a Columbia person, someone, students or graduates or a professor. So you and someone else will be our last two for hashtag Columbia Week.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's been a great week. Anyway, I'll talk about that later. So what pissed you off more? The email saying graduation is not going to happen, or was it a follow up saying we might push it back to next year?
First of all, I wouldn't necessarily say I was angry. I think very little. Like, it takes a lot to make me like legitimately angry. But I was mostly saddened at the fact that graduation was canceled first. Because canceled seems so final and ending.
Yeah.
You know, because like canceled, like okay, that's it. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen ever again.
Yeah.
Postpone makes me feel a little bit better, although it is a year away. And why wouldn't we have one or two ceremonies? That doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, I'm mostly saddened because I am a first-generation college graduate. My parents came here to America. They didn't come in with any like high school education or stuff like that. You know, my mom got her GED, worked her way up. My dad worked his way through a vocational college, became like an aircraft engineer, you know, stuff like that. But they didn't go to like a whole 4-year college, and I was the first in my family to do that. So this is going to be kind of a big deal, and now it's not as big of a deal.
Yeah, and you quote unquote graduated early. Your final semester was last winter, correct?
Yeah, I graduated in the fall, technically. My diploma is already in Texas.
Oh, good. But you were gonna walk. You're gonna walk with our class in May.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, that is correct.
so you have a longer wait though than most people.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm, like, probably not going to do it.
Oh, you don't
Like,
you don't think?
I don't think so. I mean, a lot could happen in a year. Who knows if I'll even be in Chicago anymore? You know, I mean, I'm planning to be in Chicago, but what if something happens?
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Like, what if we're still here?
yeah,
We're still here, and I'm doing 100 episodes of this podcast.
yeah,
So let's say I'm gonna put you in this ideal world of graduations coming up. You are gonna walk. You're gonna be the first generation of your family to do it. What would you? How would you remember your time at Columbia for?
I would say my time at Columbia. You know the term glow up?
Yeah.
I would say that Columbia was my glow up time. I look at high school me, and I don't think a lot of people who knew me back then would recognize who she is now. I talk about this with my mom sometimes because I send her videos of me, you know, doing stage combat and fighting with like swords and quarter stabs and stuff. And she talks to me and she's like, oh, you know, sometimes I show like your performance videos to my friends. And they're like, wow, Tina, she seems so shy and so quiet. And now she's out here like, you know, like beating up people.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But, yeah, I don't know. I think high school me would have been blown away by who post-college Tina is right now.
Yeah. And how do you think college Tina, what do you think college Tina would say to young high school Tina?
Don't fall in love with Nathan. Bad idea.
Oh, we're saying his name on the air.
It's first name. It's a first name basis.
That's true.
No one will know.
That's true.
And
They-
also,
they're gonna be-
also, we don't talk anymore for obvious reasons. But also, like, just wait it out. Things are gonna get better. They're gonna get worse too, but they're also gonna get better. But you won't know until you meet me in the future. So see you then.
Ouch! That just broke my heart.
I used to journal. I wrote lots of things. I have tons of heartbreaking stuff everywhere.
Oh, that was great. That was great. Tina, I think our friendship it went on this very weird road. Won't you agree? Not in a bad way.
Yes.
Like-
no, not at all.
Like we met in an improv class, an improv 1 class,
Oh, yeah.
and by the way, shout out John Hildreth. What was your? He gave everyone nicknames. What was your nickname?
My name was TKO.
Total knockout.
Well, first it was TK, and then it expanded into TKO.
And I would call you that pretty much even after the class
No.
was over.
The main signifier that we had improv class together is that anyone who had improv class with me will call me TKO. No one else will.
Oh,
It's just the improv people.
that's funny. And then you were my stage manager for a play festival like the following year.
Oh, God. I almost forgot about that.
I have a big head. I remember everything. And then the next fall or spring, winter 2019,
That's correct.
you played my son's girlfriend, right?
Yes. Yes.
And Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. You were Ophelia, and I was
Yes.
Claudius. We only had one scene together.
Yeah, that's true. I literally, I think I had like 30 seconds of stage time. Fun times all around.
Don't worry, I had maybe two. I had 2 minutes of stage time, and the highlight was being the pirate. So don't worry. And now and then we did Richard III together last fall.
Richard III.
And-
Yep, I remember.
You were my understudy.
I'd say for a lot of people, Matthew.
But you were one of my understudies. Yeah, and then here we are now. We're doing a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah. That's a thing that's happening.
Yeah, I had Magdalena on a couple days ago, and we talked about it, and so
Yeah. I was listening to that just now. Not like I was studying for a pop quiz or anything, but I was listening to it. I heard you mention me.
Oh, I did. I listen. I only listen to these episodes once or twice after recordings. Not because I think they're bad. Just I edit it. I hear it one more time, and then I post it. And then if I'm bored, because I can't keep hearing myself again.
Really? No, I'm obsessed with myself. I will watch videos I made over and over and over again.
Oh God. When I
and
did,
also because I think my editing's so funny.
you're okay. You are a wonderful editor.
Thank you.
Shout out Tina for the editing. Go watch our video. What's the name?
Isolation Station. Our Instagram is Isolation Station Productions.
Yes, follow that, and we're gonna be recording Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear a suit. That's my plan.
Well, I might pull myself together.
Well, we had Herman on yesterday, and I told him to do it, and he's like, I left my suit back in Chicago, but I'll put on something nice. Oh, that's great. Tina, I can't imagine another person I want to talk to right now during a pandemic. So thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Hey guys, thanks again for listening to this episode of You Have a Minute, a daily isolated podcast. My thanks to Tina-Kim Nguyen for coming on and taking some time to talk to me. A very sweet person. I've known her now for a couple years, and yeah, I love getting to know her. And like I said, we have this really weird friendship that started out as classmates, and then she was my understudy, and now here we are, and we're gonna do a YouTube channel. Yeah, she's great. Anyways, wash your hands. Stay isolated. Let's keep flattening this curve, and I will see you soon.